My name's Rick Peterson. I've been in Turkish/Kurdish ministries now for about, I think it's 17, 18 years at this point. My wife and I have been involved with evangelism and church planting that whole time. The Kurdish regions that we've been in are 0% Christian. We were originally in Turkey, in the eastern part in a city called Van, and the area that we were in is the mountains of Ararat. So it's a biblical area. About an hour and a half drive north is the actual Mount Ararat. So it's a really old area. And when Christianity started spreading, the first people group that came to faith was the Armenians. And they were up in those mountains where we lived, all the way until eventually 1915. And then there was a genocide. It was the first time the word genocide had been used. And the Ottoman Turks basically killed all the Christians in the region. So Turkey at that time was still about 40% Christian. And then within months, it went down to almost none. And that's how it stayed for the last century. Today, Turkey's got about 85 million people, but there's only about 10,000 Protestants. So it's very, very, very few. But the Turkish church, the good news is that it's really been growing, especially in the last 5 years. There's been a real uptick in interest. The church in Van got started in Vahit and Heidi tried one time in 2011. They tried again in 2013, and that's the year that we went out and joined them, and we relaunched it together. And since then, it's been growing. It's so strategically positioned. I mean, you're right in the corner there with Iran. You get tons of Iranians coming over the border. They do vacations, they do shopping there because it's cheaper to shop in Turkey. And then you're only like 150 kilometers from Iraq too. So I think it's a super important part of Turkey to be in. And so that's when a vision got started in our minds that we have to start more churches. All of these things have happened because you guys chose to support us. And, maybe it would have been done another way, but this is how God made it happen. So now we have this sprinkling of Turkish churches, Muslim background people all across Eastern Turkey and starting now in Europe as well. And it feels sort of like a concept or very distant. But these are like huge realities. These are huge kingdom inbreakings in very dark places. I always love saying thank you. Because from the very beginning, you guys have been partners with us, and that really says something.
I'm Kim Jones, and I have my own private practice counseling business that I do online. And we have been at Centerpoint for just over 2.5 years.
My name is Mark Jones. I'm a missionary with Missions Door. We have missionaries worldwide. We have many in the United States, Canada. We have a large concentration in Mexico and Central America. The primary purpose of our missionaries internationally, specifically in Central America, is that they are pastors and that they are working on planting churches.
We lived internationally for a year, and we had teams come down, and it was so impactful for us because it was like a breath of fresh air to have a team come with their energy.
Yeah, I think the biggest impact to our missionaries is that a group comes down and partners with them in ministry. And when they see what our missionaries are doing and their hearts for the people that they're serving, they basically fall in love with them and just want to go back in many cases. The reason Missions Door believes in indigenous or local pastor is because they are reaching their own culture. They already have the relationships with people in the community. I don't think there's anything that anybody needs to be an expert in, to be honest, to go on a mission trip.
I think that God really does uniquely put together people to be able to use exactly what they're bringing down, even if it's just a willing heart, willing to connect with somebody or sit with them, or if it's something that you are trained in.